Yeah, you gotta present yourself more black for the
More
people
black,
because
right?
they said you are anti-black.
I'm anti-black? Oh, yeah, let's fucking go.
That you said that you are not like
I'm about to turn to Uncle Ruckus.
foundational
Oh, yeah?
black and
Oh, let's
they
do
were
it.
saying everything. Well,
I
we
love
back,
this. So let's rebuild. Okay, go ahead.
We
Let's start
back
us off.
because I had to bring you back, Andre, because the people were feeling some type of way about our commentary
Yeah?
under our last video. So
Tell me more. What's going on? Because, I try not to indulge myself in the leechy, simpy behavior of a lot of people who live in the comments. So refresh, what's going on with these guys?
well, I'm too black and you're not black enough. That's what's going on.
That's what they're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
More or less. But
well, what's happening? I can't believe this. Is this because what I said about when we were talking about like what people you shouldn't date where you're from, or like what is this?
That too, that was definitely a very popular one, but also just being biased and speaking on topics that make you look like you are not supportive of your culture.
Now, in what ways do they think I should be supportive? Like, what do you think? Like, do they feel like I don't embrace negativity enough?
Yeah, probably
or?
Just be racist towards whites. And
So that's and I find that interesting, right? Because in my community, listen, I've been doing this for so long where, and black community is the only community where if you tell the truth, you get crucified, right? So we come from a place where we celebrate people who come home from jail, do long biz, and then we look at the kid who graduated college like he's a loser, like he's a loser. So if you ask me, and I talk to people in the community, I'm like, yo, bro, it's a very niche market of people in our community who want us to do better, because what we look like, being positive, doing the right things, it's not attractive. We spent our whole life looking up to people. I mean, if you look at the current leaders of our community who get the most views, who get the most attention, it's a dude who has a fat face, who just did a prison sentence, beat up his baby mama, and got tattoos on his face. They call him Blueface. But then I'm coming and telling people the truth about who we are, and they're like, nah. But these are the people that get attention online. But if I say something like, well, maybe we should stop going to jail, maybe we should start doing this, maybe, yo, you're not black enough. So what the fuck do it mean to be black?
right. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because we always know who are the ones hating.
We always know, and then like we gotta break it down because they called me everything. They called me a MAGA agent. They said I work for the government, like all because all I did was tell the truth about things that I'm seeing. I could present somebody a paper that says this is the truth. They make money off you being in jail. They getting rich off you using the phone. They getting rich off the khakis. They getting rich off the snacks. But it's like, nah, fuck it. We gotta keep going there because poverty it has become a disease, and people think that being poor, or we live in these places in these neighborhoods. I think we were talking about before that we don't even have enough reach in our own communities to make logical decisions about how we feel, type of way about how we feel. Most people have never left the small radius called a block, but yet they trying to tell some person who has seen different things and seen how we are looked at in different cases how we should think. But most of us have not even expanded our knowledge enough and our fucking point of view enough because we've been in a fucking 4-house radius, this project, this block, and this block. Oh, I can't cross the street because those ops over there. Do you not understand how small-minded you got to be to say, I can't go 2 blocks for the past 20 years? I know people who've lived in the Bronx for 30 years and never been to Brooklyn. One time it's a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, heavy on the small-mindedness, and that's why I'm grateful that I made the decision to move 4,500 miles away, which we also spoke about, because traveling alone and just getting exposed to different cultures and environments and languages and food just expands your mind and then gives you room to grow as a person and take in, way more information and not be biased, or just don't look at the people like, oh, you dumb just because you have different opinions on.
And I remember I was a kid running around with books in my book bag. You know what I'm saying? Yo, why you doing that?
That's some shit you would get bullied for, right, and stuff.
You get bullied for that. You should go to Barnes and Nobles. Fuck goes to a library. You know what I'm saying? And then, but it's like, yo, knowledge has always been power, but ignorance has always been something to be proud of. So when you have that distinction in a community where ignorance is power, you can't argue or debate with these people. And not saying these people as in my own people, but there is a distinction between certain people who come from certain backgrounds. It's very hard to talk to somebody who's stuck in a way that you don't live in anymore. I could tell you we come from the same place, but I mean, I was born in Brooklyn, right? I moved upstate, moved to Cali, but I'm not New York enough for a lot of people because they look a certain type of way. Even though New York is predominantly ran by people who live in Manhattan, and that's their version of New York. but we have different versions of where we come from. So I try to tell people, your version of me as a bad person ain't the same version, because I can't sit where you sit and you can't sit where I sit, but we all sit the same. But that's why I say unity in all of this Save Black America, I had to give up. These motherfuckers don't want to be saved. Black Americans don't want to be saved. They're going to hate me because I'm talking on a podcast with a female from Europe. But I can say it proudly, Black Americans don't want to be saved. You know how many times a motherfucker try to go into their own communities? Bad things happen. Motherfuckers is out here. I saw just recently, somebody's son got killed. They mama go to the wake. They don't kill the mama at the wake too.
You lying. But that's so New York. Like, if you just told me that and I didn't know it happened in New York, I would know it happened in New York. And that's sad.
That's terrible.
That's
but this
sad.
This is the state that we live in, where a op is more meaningful than peace. How can you tell a kid that when the op is the most important thing in the world? I can't tell a kid that. And then we got a lot of, and you know what I noticed about in our community? Once a motherfucker get that bag, they gone. So we don't even have a proper example of, I got rich and I indulge in my community, because we get bread and we leave. We go to the suburbs. But the suburbs are predominantly ran by who? Okay. That's not our fault. That's like redlining and all these things that they did in time throughout history. But we didn't even know our history enough. Because I think last time we was talking about how our culture, our closest thing to memory is when we came here off a boat. But like, what fucking boat? Where the boats at? Can anybody show me a slave ship? Can anybody show me a captain who was driving a slave ship all the way from Africa to fucking America? But we can't even see that, because that shit can barely happen. If we could barely even imagine all them years ago, what type of ships did they have to survive all those crazy weather conditions, all those people from Africa to America? And mind you, all these things that they're saying about how America already looked, where people were dying from the bubonic plague, all these different things. Who the fuck was going? If they didn't have no food here, they couldn't even make food. Who was making all the food before they came to get us? And we was helping them make rice and all these different things. All that shit don't even make sense. But this is the history we told each other. So now your enemy is my enemy and our enemy is each other. So they see me telling the truth. Oh yeah, he not one of us. Because I don't want to play into the bullshit game that we call black culture. Can't play into it.
One of my first thoughts on that is Kai Cenat, which might be random, right? Because like what you were talking about,
I have a lot of thoughts about Kai too.
Way deeper than that. But I know he's like the number one most paid streamer, right? Yeah. And he's black. And I know one time he had an interview or he commented on the fact that his mom didn't support his streaming journey, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, playing video games all day, of course. My brother used to have a 60-minute limit every day.
Wow.
You know, so you gotta be different. Just like how you said, oh, I was walking around with books in my backpack. You know, you cannot fall under that societal pressure and what people might want you to do or not do in order to succeed. Because now look at him. He's black and he's doing the best when it comes to streaming. Like, the whole collab, what is that, Mafiathon?
Yes.
With OTR and, like, all the great shit that, like, he created something colossal.
Yes.
And something, like, nobody really thought about before. And everybody's trying to copy that.
Yes, and that's what brings me to what recently happened with the girl India Love. I'm not too familiar with her backstory, where she came from, but I feel like streaming and podcasting is reviving a lot of people from the dead. But you just had to be honest about it, right? What happened was the girl India Love goes to the streamer award show, gets on the stage and says, hey, the kid Rai Kai, which is a kid from where I grew up at, upstate New York in Syracuse, and I can't say they robbed him because we don't know. Maybe they actually voted him out. But I do feel like this, right? We in a culture where whether it's the Grammys, whether it's Oscars, majority of people of color make shit hot, but then they give the awards away to everybody else. Whether it's lack of ownership, whether it's lack of real credibility to who really did it, to who really made it hot, whether it's dancing, whether it's clothes, and it's always somebody, I think I said it last time, when y'all pay Mike and Mary, do the nigga pay you. Because we could be wearing a 3,000 outfit, they got 300 million. It's just a big difference. So when she went up there and said, well, it should have went to Rai Kai, they was upset at her. But I feel like this, in our own community, because mind you, right, if there was a person of another race or whatever, and this is just fact, because this is all bad sociology in America, if a little white boy went up there and said we should have gave it to, they probably wouldn't oppress him that way. You know why? Because they probably weren't scared to. The same reason why she went up to that, the girl went up to Kai and said, oh, that was you in the Diddy documentary? Now, guess what? They community not backlashing her for that. We laughing at each other. Now they making memes of Kai looking like Diddy. This is the difference. So when I saw her go up there and say that, first thought was, she probably felt something compelling and tried to stand up. Once again, we can't say Black America, because then it's like, well, India Love, you a hoe. You slept with 30, 40 niggas. But she went up there and stood up for a little black boy who looked just like her. But the first thing we said, she a hoe. She probably drunk. She off the cocaine. But when a girl said he looked like Diddy, first thing we did was start making memes of Kyle looking like Diddy. They tried to say, the kid said something, oh, if you want to make jokes, make it funny. But we ain't see they community yelling at her for making a bad joke. So when I try to tell people you can't say Black America because we make the job hard for ourselves. Nobody else got to fight us. Like I said last time, they been left us alone. Yo, they deaf to their own demise. It's a damn shame a kid caught. But I tell you like this, if Kyle was driving around, flexing rapes, throwing lamb keys at niggas, big ass chains, and moving like a rap gangster nigga, we would feel more like we got to listen to what he says. But since he's doing the right thing, good PR, probably good management, he's trying to keep himself animated because you make more money that way being animated. It's a lot harder to duplicate. It's a lot easier for people to take your IP, replicate you. He could last 20 years. His character is Kai Cenat. That's why his transition out of this is going to be very hard because he has to remain the young, youthful energy child because once you grow up, nobody cares about you no more.
But then also, like, the amount of money he's touching right now, that should last you a lifetime, honestly, if you were being
last, for sure.
Financially smart, you know? So it's a matter of how long he's planning on doing all this and stuff.
But Kevin Hart said it best. He said, you cute now, but it ain't going to last forever. Because that's just the truth. You know, we've seen it with guys like Ninja, you know, all these guys, and everybody comes and go because, truth be told, this is a young man's game. Like, all these different things, it's a young man's game. You got to be 22, 23 in your prime. Because once there's another kid that's hot, it's always like, we've seen it in rap all the time. I don't know why, because streaming is a new industry. We think that's the same thing isn't going to happen. Everybody comes and goes. This has been happening since the beginning of time, whether you're a rapper, whether you're an actor. It's an age limit as far as being a star. Because even stars in the sky got to die eventually. So that's just what happens on Earth. But I think Kyle was the first one to open the door. And I love the fact that he brought all these people in. I just don't like what they did. When we defended Rai Kai, and then we look at Shorty, you're a hoe, you're this. But at least she got her whole ass on stage and defended the young man because nobody else did.
Correct. Right.
Nobody else did. So it took this hoe, what all these things they call this girl to say, nah, I don't care who owns this shit. Y'all should have gave it to little homie right there. But it's like, oh, man.
They don't really care about the truth. It's more like who's saying it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we all trying to please a higher power because we don't realize we got the power yet. That's the problem. If Kai made the Streamer Awards what it is, he's a popular streamer, they should own the Streamer Awards already. There should be nobody else hosting that. This should be our shit. Because we the hottest streamers on Earth. This is our shit. You come on our show. We don't own the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? You go look at a lot of these executive boards. These people don't even know what culture look like or what it tastes like, but they making all the decisions. So of course we could spin a narrative. Look at all these accounts that are being made online that are spreading propaganda that aren't even from this country. Random accounts in India, fucking Indonesia, all these random ass places, and these people are spinning narratives on a culture they're not even a part of. Because we don't have enough hands in the pot. Now, I got love for Isaac Hayes, but of course, I don't think anybody really used his app, but he does have a good message of what he's trying to propel is that, like, we need more ownership in the space because we don't have enough say-so. And he was showing these accounts where people are literally making meme posts, dropping text messages with all type of spelling errors and shit and making fake black names and, like, talking about, oh, well, you're supposed to send me $1,000. And it's all fake messages that are going viral as memes.
You said that's an app?
No. Isaac Hayes owns an app called Fanbase. And he was exposing how a lot...
Fanbase is his?
Fanbase is Isaac. Isaac Hayes was... his father was a popular singer. Okay. And, you know, he ended up suing Donald Trump because Donald Trump was using his dad's music during his campaign rally. But Isaac Hayes has an app called Fanbase. He's been trying to push and get more, like, black creator stuff. But this is my point about the black community. All this black creator stuff, why the fuck he don't got $3 billion already? Why he don't got billions of dollars with no debt? Meta, Facebook. Why? Because we don't want what's ours. I said, yo, unity, and bro, you're not black enough. If everything was about that, and don't get me wrong, we built a lot together, a lot was taken, but we have the chance to do a lot now. Black spending power is about, what, $4 trillion a year? What do we have to show for it every year?
And that's what speaks volumes.
This ain't a bash to the black community. This is just the truth about when people say you're not black enough. The world ain't black enough. And there's enough of us here to make it that way. So who cares what you say about me? I'm only going to speak the truth because, unfortunately, the truth fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And we a hurt community.
And
that's why we hurt each other.
Right.
Yeah.
People will realize, but it's funny that you brought up Trump, right?
Hmm.
I've heard that he said that black people love him. Do you love Trump?
Let me speak on DJT, right? The Big 4-7. Let me tell you the problem with American politics and Black American politics. So we got to go back. We got to go all the way back because I've been in it. Like election time was where I probably got the hottest, right? Donald Trump, before all of this, was very involved in Black America, close friends with Michael Jackson, close friends with Mike Tyson. So, of course, we felt naturally propelled. But there's certain things that had happened with the Central Park Five, and he writes the letter, and all of a sudden, they're like, yo, lock up the Central Park Five, and the Central Park Five turned out to not have did it. So that's a big thing of Black America. So that's a big argument they use when it comes to Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong. This election proved that Black Americans do like Trump, especially the men, because we started to notice, you got to go back to the 1960s when the Democrats, first of all, let's go back a little further. Make it simple. During segregation, we signed the bill, to, end segregation, which is probably the worst thing Black America could have ever done because we were doing better when we were segregated. But no one wants to talk about that because we got to worship Martin Luther King. But there's a lot of bad decisions that were made to try to get the white dollar. And now the white dollar is actually falling off because Saudi Arabia, all these countries don't want to do no business with America no more. So we fought so hard for America's validation, just for America to constantly shit on us all the time. So anyway, Donald Trump came into Black America. He done a lot of things. He's a man in New York. And this time go around, he made men feel empowered. And a lot of black men felt like Harris and Biden was lying to their faces. And I was actively in the community of how we felt. Like, who's this lady trying to come impersonate Black America? But she was doing things in California like overpopulating the prisons, not letting men out of jail on time. You were doing all these different things, cooking the collard greens in the tub and trying to do certain things. It was like, yo, you making us look bad and you expect us to believe you. So naturally, who do you run to? You run to the man who's talking, yo, get her out of here. We love black people. There's a lot of history with Donald Trump. But what I can say is now, as we see, I think he ran a good campaign on making men feel empowered this time, no matter what color you were. A lot of men felt great. That's why the farmers vouched for Trump. And then we had the soybean issue where China wasn't buying the soybeans. So now all these fucking farmers are ready to cry. But he made men feel empowered. Then you get in office, and it's like, same thing that happens with every time with the man Donnie, everything. You get in office, you're like, damn, you on some bullshit, Trump.
Where's the promises and stuff?
Where's the promises, right? And I was like, oh, you keep talking about the Epstein files, you're a weirdo. But Donald Trump does have a history inside of Black America, more than anybody else really did in terms of Joe Biden was actually, when he was senator, he was the one, when they made the crime bill, he was the one in court talking about, if you get caught with this much crack cocaine, you'll go to jail for 5 years, holding up a quarter. So when these type of things come out, it's like, how can we like y'all? You the reason my daddy wasn't around. Because when y'all initiated it, Lyndon Baines and y'all, my daddy was, every 1 in 4 black men was gonna go to jail because of y'all, because of the Democrats. Oh, matter of fact, and people don't know, during the Central Park 5 shit, it was a lot of Democrats that gave the final veto decision to put the Central Park 5 in jail. But no one ever talks about it. So now we get around Trump and there's more information, more independent people. They're like, why would we rock with y'all? We see pictures of Trump with Michael. We see pictures of Trump with Tyson from back in the day. But we don't really see all the other things. I always say it don't matter if it's red or blue. It ain't for you. That's why you got to vote locally. None of these politicians had any of our best interests at hand as a culture ever, because there's no proof.
I personally wouldn't like to get too much into the political aspect of that, but I have a question to you on, how he got Kodak Black out of jail during his previous term. He cool with Lil Wayne, all that stuff. What's your take on that? Because again, like,
same thing as Kamala Harris bringing Cardi B up there to go, vote Kamala. It's the same thing.
Sleepy Hollow and Chef G did that shit too.
Yeah, and these are Brooklyn kids. Like, I went to school with Chef. Like, I get it. But when I saw it, I said,
marketing.
I don't associate myself. I don't see, when I see myself in the mirror, I don't see myself as a rapper. So you don't got to do that for me to win my vote, because I know I get it like a young kid, because this is generational thinking. So the kid that's 12 years old right now, like, they need to vote Republican when they're 25. Yo, I saw Trump and the Republicans back in the day, JD and them, they bought Chef up there, and I was getting sturdy to him back in 2025.
But that's because people don't do the research themselves. It's what you see on social media and what you hear.
Yeah.
from, your parents at home, growing up,
Exactly.
what you expose yourself to.
Yeah, and there's a switch happening because once upon a time we did vote Democrat. Then you have things like the Southern Strategy, where actually Republicans were the racists of the country, and now they're flipping the narrative now, and they're acting like they're the all-be-all savior. But we see them doing the same thing they did to blacks when they called us criminals and dangerous. They're doing the same thing to immigrants. They must go. The Somalians are dangerous. They the biggest scammers in the world. Oh, Somalians are using all the food stamps. But in America, we know majority of the people who are on food stamps. But these reports don't ever come out. So we see the same thing happen. The same thing they did to blacks to demoralize us and get us out the way. They're doing it to the LGBTQ people and to the immigrants. It's all the same game. It's just political, but I know we don't want to go down there.
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I ain't, culture just loves to trigger me. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You're sitting in this chair for a reason, so we were prepared for that. I came across something on social media, actually. Light Skin Keisha was talking about black marriages. If you are happily married, it's pretty much looked at as a sin. And people consider like happy marriages just like,
You know what? I think, why I think that's so funny? Because I think I saw something similar where we are in a state of mind where division, I think we talked about it before, dividing is conquering. And right now we see happily people on the rise, and then you got a bitter lady with 200,000 followers trying to debunk the narrative about being happy because she want to raise 2 dogs instead of finding a man. And then we got 200,000 people thinking that shit makes sense. And to me, I don't really know. I always say sometimes you go outside, it don't feel like how the TikTok algorithm feel. Because, like, when I walk around outside, half the shit I see people rambling about online, I never really have those convos in real life. But a lot of these conversations do affect men. I would say they affect women less. I don't know. Do you feel like women actually abide by this stuff they hearing in the algorithm? Like, yo, you must do this or you must do that? Like, in your actual day-to-day life?
You have an actual example?
Okay, what's the crisis? People's dating criterias, what men should be doing. For example, what are they saying that men should be doing now? I feel like that convo kind of died down just a little bit where people aren't giving some. Because I feel like now, right? Because I saw a perfect example where I think that whole hype about 2 years ago, and I had a person really tell me this. They said, you know what? What people say online, it's a small minority of people starting a big-ass conversation. So we tend to think that when we walk outside, oh, this girl gonna tell me she can't go to the Cheesecake Factory. Oh, this man got a blah, blah. But it's like when you go outside, you work out, right? How many people you see outside that are actually out of shape and look fucking built bad? So there's more obese people in this country than there are people in shape. When you scroll on that algorithm, you think you gotta buy you some Gymshark. You think you gotta go get your tone right. But you go outside, it's like this kid is 5 years old and he's obese. Because this algorithm is kind of 50-50, all of that kind of stuff that people was talking about. But in actual reality, it's hard out here for a pimp. And that goes for a lot of people. It's like everybody, me and you are in the industry. We know majority of people are faking it until they make it. And you would think a motherfucker made it and realize he's still just faking it.
Yeah.
Because then the fake persona had to be, oh, that I made it. And now you got to uphold that. So I had a person tell me, Drae, you don't really change your clothes inside of videos a lot because I'm actually being resourceful. And to actually build something, you got to keep your money in your pockets.
And I remember you said something about, we had a conversation back in the days about that because, yeah, you like to show that, oh, I'm wearing the same outfit for 70 videos. It's because I record 70 videos a day. And you got to see that I'm putting in the work.
Putting in the work. It's like I don't want to get up and it's still the whole point of like the girl light skin. Who is she in a relationship again with?
That I'm not even sure.
Yeah, because I feel like that name is familiar, but I don't know. Every time I hear that name, I think of Gucci Mane or something.
No, that's Keisha Kayor. Yes.
Okay.
And then there's like Keisha who's dating Hancho, but like
Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole, yeah. But that's a big age gap,
very,
actually.
Very big age epidemic with a lot of these older ladies. But to the point, this is a girl who's blurring out her husband's face, right? We're talking about now, or the light-skinned Keisha saying that she's happily married, people trying to, but I do feel that way because people will fuck up your relationship. I mean, I say this, right? I don't even like I don't even like talking about having a family, all these things, because I feel like people are so susceptible to interjecting in your life. I have friends who I'm like, yo, bro, how you even like the girl that your best friend is talking to? What about hearing that your man is sleeping with this girl and you want to try as well? To me, that's weird. But there's more people out there than less. I don't feel like you can trust anybody because a lot of people's temptations override their conscious thinking.
I have so many things to say about that, right? There was this lawsuit made against this North Carolina content creator.
Oh, God.
She got sued for $1.75 million, if I'm not mistaken, by her best friend because she slept with her best friend's husband. She had her own husband at the time, mind you, but they were beefing, and the best friend took her in, right? You can stay with me until, things settle at home type of vibe. And she ended up sleeping with her best friend's man.
Interesting.
In their home, in their bed, with somebody else's man that's not your man. And then she lost the lawsuit, obviously. She thought she was going to win that.
You know what I got to say about men who do stuff like that? I blame the man more than I blame her. Because women will be women. Women will do emotional things. But sorry for that lady for dealing with an emotional ass man. Because I always say, when you gotta do that to somebody who's so close to home, she honestly got lucky. She left with $1.75 pretty much, and then got rid of the bitch ass nigga at the same time. Because the fact that you could be doing a favor with somebody, let's let sis live in our crib, then you sleep with the best friend in our house that we got together. Mm-hmm. That's how low level thinking niggas gotta be. But a lot of men are very weak. And this is why we have a male crisis in America, because niggas don't do stuff like that. Bitch ass niggas do. And then, as I was saying earlier, we have this conversation about men ain't shit, men ain't this. It's a small minority of people making a standard for the majority, because these experiences are a lot more viral than anything else. I mean, look at all the men that are probably doing the right thing. But as I was saying earlier, I don't care if you move to the suburbs or you just get your ass off the internet. When you're trying to be happy and healthy, you stay away from all the bullshit. Because it's hard to be happy. We talked to Meth's daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And I believe Meth and Man said in an interview a long time ago, the key to my relationship, I kept that shit quiet.
And I don't blame him because, again, social media, people feel the need to put everything on social media.
I don't trust people who put everything on social media because they're trying to get external validation from people who don't live within their relationship.
Let me tell you something. I used to be back in the days, right? I used to be the type of girlfriend who'd be like, why don't you post me? Why don't you let the world know that we're together? Mm-hmm. It was one thing that he was cheating on me, so he didn't want that shit exposed, right? Cool. But now, when I get into a happy, loving, caring relationship, you're not gonna know shit. You're gonna see my pockets getting bigger and the smile on my face getting bigger. But it's nobody's fucking business.
Yes.
And if you ask me, I'm going to tell, yes, I'm in a relationship and I'm in a relationship with XYZ. But you're not going to know otherwise too much because it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah. And that, I say like people who I always say, men, it's your job to protect your wife. And it's the wife's job to protect their husband too. But I feel like we don't do a good job at protecting our family when we put them out there on display. A lot of people are making money off their relationship, and I would love to know a prime example, all the YouTube couples that have done it successfully, putting their couple and family on display for the world to see. Because at the end of the day, your relationship is based on how others react to your relationship. I don't really know if there's any examples of anybody who really put their relationship out there and have a successful relationship still to this day.
Have been in a relationship and imagine, oh, babe, we gotta make content today for YouTube or TikTok or... What the fuck?
Does that become authentic after a while? Where it's like...
I would not want to do that. I remember I used to watch a couple like 10, 15 years ago. They went by Gold Juice. Olivia and Will Got the Juice, right? Okay. I think they still are logged in. They had like 2 kids at least at this point. I think they still together.
Wow.
They blew up of doing like couples YouTube videos. And again, I used to want to be like that, like, oh my gosh, how cute, how romantic. Fuck that shit. Let's go on an island. Let's go on vacation. Nobody gotta know, And again, it's not a secret. I'm not hiding it.
Right.
It's just something way more sacred than that.
Privacy is power. And I'm thinking of this old clip of Kanye. He said, you don't got your bitch. Instagram got your bitch because she gonna do it for the gram before she do it for you. But that's the real thing. So it's like, if my man bought me a nice dinner, I'm gonna show the gram first before I tell this nigga thank you. Who the fuck is in your stories?
Listen.
Your jealous ass friends and a bunch of thirsty niggas, what they gotta see for? You didn't even say thank you yet. A lot of women would thank the Lord Jesus Christ before they thank you. So when we live in a world like that, a nigga is really secondary. At least that's how, but we became so conditioned to that. So now, if you got a man, it's like, yo, one post away from not being my man no more.
Exactly.
One story post away. Because Instagram truly got your bitch. But if a nigga has this shit going on, he doing the things right, of course he can, make his plays as well. But that's why there was this big, I don't believe in telling nobody to delete social media, but there are people who use social media for what they know they can do it for. It's a very 1, 2, 3 quick transition, and it makes us feel like we don't have to admire what we have. Back in the day, Granny he got to wait a whole 8-hour day to get home and tell Granny, I ain't like what you did this morning. My bacon was fucked up. But now you can post on Instagram, you can send a WhatsApp message, you can FaceTime the whole tell I don't love you no more. Back then, Granddaddy had to go all the way to work, take the train back home, and then talk to Granny about how he feel. That's a lot of time. Right now, me and you can have an argument, boom, 5 minutes later, say, I don't want to do this no more, make a story
Everybody
post
knows.
and get the fake validation that we need. And that makes me think about the girl who is going viral because she covered her boyfriend's face in the photo. My thing is this, right? I feel 2 ways about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to think about it intellectually. If you don't want people to know who your significant other is, don't tell the world you're getting married. But for one, it's benefiting you to show off your relationship. So that's what I say, the admiration that Instagram do got your bitch. Because she don't even want to show you, but she want to show the world that she's married.
It's so crazy because it's a trend, actually. Somebody started this trend on Instagram, posting their Valentine's Day pictures and stuff, and just not even blurring the face, cutting the dude's head off the picture, right? So it's that's embarrassing. If I was a man and my girl did that to me, we wouldn't be together no more. That shit is embarrassing. Imagine your man posts you with no head.
Because what's the point, right?
That shit's sad.
As a female,
if you
what do you think
don't
she did it
trust
for?
your relationship.
Do you think that she felt like somebody's going to come scoop her man up because he's so amazing? She had to cut his face. As if they can't still find him anyway. You think she did it because she don't want nobody to see who he is? Why would somebody do that?
It could be insecurity. But also I've heard stuff such as the girl's past is something that she doesn't want the guy to find out about.
Ooh.
But also it can be another thing. Let's say if only one of the partners are famous or a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't want the identity of your partner exposed because they are just not used to that lifestyle. But again, that's not too often that somebody dates outside of the industry or completely off the track type of vibe. So
it's a very hard thing to do because most people don't understand this line of work. It's not, everybody doesn't get it. They think a lot of people indulge in the things that come with it, but some people do, they got to do and go home.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
as long as your relationship is solid, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays get into relationship prematurely. Oh, I'm attracted to you physically. We go together. That shit don't work like that.
Do you know? Together. All these stupid trends. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How, again, Blueface, we just brought him up again, was just posted up with Hazel E. 2 days after he said, oh, both of my baby mothers are mid. You fucked them without a condom. You had kids with them. Mm-hmm. We been knew that shit. But you just not realizing it, or what's going on? It's.
I want to know we'll do the 10-second challenge. Tell me what people from any other race you see do this to the woman that they have children with. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody. And I gave a countdown so the comments could think about it too while they sit here and look dumbfounded. Because it's yo, bro, this is who our fucking leaders are. These are the people that we got to wake up and I got to open the internet and see all fucking day. For what? No matter how much you stop it, whether it's 6ix9ine, whether it's this. And it's yo, bro, I don't know. But I say, the culture is what it is. That's what I say. Save who you can save. I'm done trying to save Black America. I'm going to save my little black family. Fuck y'all. Because at the end of the day, bro, we can't come to save y'all because y'all don't want to be saved. And the people who do want to be saved, we going to get on Noah's Ark together and we going to sail the fuck away. Because at the end of the day, now I see my motherfuckers say, fuck this, I'm going to the suburbs so I don't got to deal with this shit. I don't want to be around this. I don't want to be around a nigga who going to look at me like I'm the problem. It's yo, bro, I'm here to help you. But you looking at me like I'm the problem because I don't want to wear a shicey with you. And I don't want to wear Michael Myers with you. It's not my fucking problem. I don't know them niggas. So
food for thought. That's definitely things to think about, and just expose yourself to different shit. At the end of the day, you choose what you expose yourself to.
Yeah.
For a large extent, not 100%, but you can control who you are around. Instead of opening Instagram and going on the shade room, pick up a book.
Pick up a book.
And learn about financial literacy or something. It's all what you put your mind to.
I love the positivity. They ain't gonna do that because knowledge isn't sexy. Knowledge and financial discipline takes a long time. Like, you are very financial. It takes a long time to build. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants, and we come from a place where if it's not tomorrow, I don't want it. But that's a lie they told us. So it's like everybody wants to be Warren Buffett. Like the girl who won the lottery and decided to take $1,000 a week for 19 years. I would have took the money right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You don't even invest money now. You would have had $0 by 2027. Oh, you could high yield save. But it's like, how many of y'all do that now? Everybody's always predicting about what they would do if they had something. We could all make change now. But nobody wants to make changes because it requires to really change. We don't want to change because it requires you to say, well, I can't be around this. A lot of people get validation from others. That's why I say a quiet wolf is still a wolf. I'd rather be a quiet wolf than have to hang around the whole wolf pack of a bunch of fake wolves so we all feel better together. We ain't really stronger together if we ain't doing nothing productive while we're together. If all we're doing is for the fucking gram, nothing's really being done.
Once you fix your mindset, your whole reality will change.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just leave it at that.
Yes.